clever few of you noticed that in my last video, I mentioned a thing called the Pronouns Wiki. And yeah, that's real. I was confused about the difference between neopronouns and xenopronouns. Neopronouns are any set of singular third-person pronouns that were directly created or adapted within the language instead of evolving with it, and are frequently not officially recognized in the language they're used in. In English, there are 4 sets of recognized exi-pronouns. She, her is considered feminine, he, him is considered masculine, and they, them is considered neutral, and less controversial than the 4th set, it, its. In my original recording of that passage before doing another take, I expressed shock at the existence of the word exi-pronouns, but I let that hook dangle. Not today though, let's fully dive down the rabbit hole of the Pronouns Wiki. Exi-pronouns, also called paleopronouns, arch-pronouns, or trad-pronouns, is a term to refer to the standard traditional existing pronoun sets of a language. Someone who uses exi-pronouns would be called exi-pronominal. Oh, Jesus Christ. The term exi-pronoun was coined by Tumblr user Anna Krosick on June 30th, 2020. Also on that post, trad pronouns was coined by Tumblr user Transkayan. Why is this a wiki? Like, why does this thing exist? Is it just to document Tumblr stupidity? Here's what xenopronouns actually means. Xenopronouns are a type of hypothetical neopronouns that cannot be understood by humans and or expressed through human language. Theoretical examples of xenopronouns include pronouns that involve concepts that humans don't have words for, pronouns whose meanings cannot be translated into any human language, pronouns that include sounds that would be impossible for humans to make if spoken, pronouns that include movements that would be impossible for humans to do if signed, pronouns expressed through a form of communication that humans can't use. If I were trans, I would be fucking embarrassed at this, I'm not gonna lie. Like, let's say you're the average trans woman, okay? You're born male, and as you get a bit older, you're attracted to more feminine things, you view yourself as a bit more feminine, you get pushback from those around you for this, and it makes you feel bad. You get older still, and you realize you want to present and behave as the other gender, and eventually you do. You're not interested in any of this crazy shit. You don't want to deconstruct gender. You don't want to be viewed as an eldritch abomination from beyond the stars, unknowable by normal human minds. You just want the other gender identity than the one that aligns with your biological sex. I think this is why the most successful, popular, and emotionally stable trans women present and behave like cis women. No specific examples of xenopronouns can be provided because, by their nature, it would be impossible to express through human language. For those that do use xenopronouns, for communication in human language, they may use auxiliary or alternate pronouns, or wish to be treated as null pronominal. Oh, what fresh hell is this? No pronominal, also known as non-pronominal, unpronominal, apronominal, pronounless, void pronoun, or impronoun, is the act of not using third-person pronouns of any kind. Oh my god, they got flags for all of this shit too. You know, for being so anti-nationalist, leftoids love to divide themselves up into camps and wave banners signifying their allegiance. The Frey Pronominal Flag by fandom user Femboy Quinn. What the fuck is Fey pronominal? It is a form of pronoun nonconformity and may be considered a dehuman pronoun depending on the user. What the fuck is a dehuman pronoun? Being non-pronominal may overlap with name-self pronouns. What the fuck is name-self pronouns? I wanted to go back to the auxiliary pronouns page from the last passage, but every link I click on, there's 3 more terms I don't understand. This is worse than link surfing on TV tropes. Denipronomial is a term for someone who is normally null pronomial but occasionally uses pronouns. This may overlap with one being pronoun fluid, however it doesn't have to. I'm gonna guess that pronoun fluid is that you change your pronouns sometimes, right? Pronoun fluid is the act of switching or transitioning between 2 or more pronoun sets over time. One's pronouns may change over the course of hours, days, weeks, or months, and the gender of the person does not matter and does not have to change with the pronouns. Oh, okay, so you can be a girl, fully biologically female, gender is woman, not even a trans man, you're a cis woman, and you can use he, him pronouns because you're pronoun non-conforming. Wait a second, pronoun non-conforming is something different. It's just using pronouns in a non-standard way. Okay. What I'm talking about is what this wiki calls cross-pronominal. Fuck me, dude. The cross-pronominal flag looks like a candy you might have found in a cheap paper bag at the corner store back in the day. It was made by Beyond Mogai Pride Flags. Is this your greatest contribution, dude? Making these fucking flags that will never actually fly anywhere IRL? Is this how you spend your time? Alright, let's jump a few stages back. Cross-pronominal to pronoun non-conforming to pronoun fluid. Core fluid. No, core fluid is a term for someone who is both gender fluid and pronoun fluid, and whose pronouns change to correlate with their gender. Neopronoun fluid, also known as neofluid, is when one is pronoun fluid only between neopronouns. A neofluid individual may also have exipronouns so long as they are only fluid in neopronouns. Mutopronoun or mutopronominal is a term used I can't fucking believe I'm doing this. Is a term used to describe when one's pronouns change in certain situations or context. Okay, this one I kind of understand. It's like how drag queens out of drag use he and him, but use she, her in drag. I've got it. The only reason, though, is because Naomi likes to watch Drag Race. Emotupronoun fluid, also known as emotupronominal, is a subset of pronoun fluid where one's pronouns change depending on one's mood, emotions, or state of mind. Oh, is this the source of the was-were joke when your state of mind is dead? Pronoun fey or pronoun do is the act of switching or transitioning between two or more pronoun sets over time, but only feminine pronouns. Pronoun fawn or pronoun fawn is the act that's the same thing, is the act of switching or transitioning between two or more pronoun sets over time, but only masculine pronouns. Excuse me, but the very act of even considering pronoun sets masculine or feminine is inherently oppressive. Thank you very much. Pronoun floor is the act of switching or transitioning between two or more pronoun sets over time, but only neutral pronouns. Oh, I guess they already have that one covered. Pronoun soros is the act of switching or transitioning between two or more pronoun sets over time, but only androgynous pronouns. It actually sounds more like dinosaur pronouns, frankly. Pronoun soros people can have any gender. For example, a pronoun floor person may go by she, shim one day and shy, higher the next, and then a week later switch back to she, shim. Oh my god, what is the fucking point? Why does she, shim have an entry but shy, higher doesn't? I can actually kind of intuit what she, shim means as an androgynous thing, but I actually want an explanation of where the fuck shy, higher came from. Also, look at the bottom of this page. Coined on December 13th, 2021. Coined on November 1st, 2020. January 7th, 2022. October 2021. These are just people who have been locked down for too long during coronavirus and have had nothing to do. Fray pronominal is a term for people who lose their connection to a set of pronouns the more the set is used to refer to them, and become more likely to change their pronouns as a result of this lost connection. In other words, after a set of pronouns gets old, you change them. This is literally just being a special snowflake. Jesus Christ, there's Libra pronominal, hemipronominal, gray pronominal, proxy pronominal, cad pronominal, someone who was allopronominal but no longer relates to pronouns due to past trauma. Is this even possible? Like, how would this happen? Would a rapist have to write the person's pronouns on their dick before he does it? Wait. Meyer pronominal. Mere pronominal. Someone who has multiple null pronominal labels. Yeah, we covered null pronominal earlier, didn't we? Null pronominal is the act of not using third-person pronouns of any kind. Right. If you're not using any pronouns, how are you fucking using multiples of them? Multiples of nothing? You know, after all of this, that auxiliary pronouns page I wanted to check out earlier seems quaint by comparison. Auxiliary pronouns, also known as alternate pronouns, are a pronoun set or sets that one likes less than their primary pronoun set, but still allows others to use to refer to oneself. Yeah, this is just the whole she, they thing that you see on Twitter sometimes. Fair. Emoji self-pronouns? Emoji self-pronouns. Emoji self-pronouns are a form of gender-neutral neopronouns. They are similar to noun self-pronouns, but instead of using letters, they use emojis or other pictograms. They may be used for a number of reasons, such as liking the way the emoji looks, liking the way they may sound in their head, or because one feels the emoji describes them or reflects something about their gender well. Emoji self-pronouns are meant to be used in text-based communication only. They cannot be pronounced and are not intended to be pronounced, but some may have spoken alternatives. I'm trying my best not to laugh here, guys. Most emoji pronoun users have pronouns to be used in spoken conversation. Some emoji pronoun users will use a noun self-pronoun set based on the emoji. Other emoji self-pronoun users may use pronouns like he, she, they, or other pronouns that are unrelated to the emoji in spoken conversation. Others may go by no pronouns in speech. An example of emoji self-pronouns is, this is if the pronoun is a strawberry emoji. Strawberry went to the store. You're not supposed to say it. You're supposed to have the picture of the strawberry emoji in your head, I guess. Strawberry went to the store. I met Strawberry today. Barry walked Barry's dog today. Spoken alternatives to the above set of emoji self-pronouns could be berry self, straw, strawberry self, fruit, fruit self. Yeah, I would not be surprised if you were a fucking fruit, dude. The noun self pronouns page that we skipped over, though, brings us full circle. Noun self pronouns are a type of neopronouns that are clearly derived from a pre-existing word, to be used as a gender-neutral pronoun set. Any word can be turned into a pronoun set, so this allows there to be theoretically infinite sets of noun self pronouns. The word in question does not have to be a noun. Oh, alright. Some of the earliest sets of noun self-pronouns are the fairy-themed set Fae Fair and the bunny-themed set Bun Buns. And of course we now have dog self, cat self, and many others. Remember the deer gender people that hit the spotlight a year or so ago?
Nice and soft. Really to the back of the head.
Yeah, them. I think they use do self-pronouns, and I'm guessing they're part of this shit. The issue with fad pronouns like these isn't that they're artificially constructed and socially imposed for a political benefit. Well, no, that is the issue, but there's a bigger issue. It's that it adds a new, unnecessary dimension of complexity. I can already hear the progressive reply to this. Herder, you can remember hundreds of Pokemon, but you can't remember a couple dozen pronouns? That doesn't matter. Trust grows when you don't have to think about something, when you can just simplify it. We do this to objects and we do it to each other. And it's not bad that we do this, it's in our nature. As tribals, we didn't need to know the intricate details of the biology of the tiger that is about to eat us. We simplify it to big, roar, teeth, scary. When I trade with you, I don't need to know your life story and you don't need to know mine. If I hire you to build my house, I don't need to know every detail of how you grew up and became interested in building houses and who taught you how to do it. I just need to know that you can do the job that I pay for, and you just need to know that I can pay you for it. For some things, you may need a bit more detail, but you never need to know all of the detail. I may need to see the credentials of somebody who's building a very complex house. I may need to see examples of his prior work, but I will never need to hook myself up to his brain and experience second by second the entire process of how he learned to do it. Trust may come from knowing somebody intimately, for example in a romantic context, but trust between business partners, between citizens, between friends, comes from not needing to know, from simplifying the other person in your eyes so that you only need to engage with the public part of themselves that they put forward. Everything else can remain private and unknown, and that's okay. We evolved to handle complex environments by simplifying what we can trust. That's why we say, I trust him, he'd never betray me, even if he actually has the capacity for betrayal. Because what you're doing is you're taking a leap of faith and assuming that all of those possible futures where he betrays you won't happen. Even if they could happen, resources spent on fallback plans can be better spent elsewhere. So if your trust isn't misplaced, that's less time spent on the possibility of being betrayed, and more time spent on your actual goal. This is why high-trust societies end up more prosperous than low-trust ones, regardless of access to resources, because you're spending way less time on periphery plans that are only relevant if you get backstabbed. All of these crazy gender identities and pronouns, and moreover the strict insistence on their constant use, adds unnecessary complexity, which adds chaos, which reduces trust. I don't need to know the gender, or the biological sex for that matter, of the person who's serving me food or scanning my groceries, and including this stuff as a necessary component of the interaction bogs down that interaction. Some people take glee at the idea of breaking other people's automated cognitive processes. Fair enough, subversion can be fun, being the outsider can make you feel special, but those same people also complain about not being accepted, or how people treat them weirdly and how it's everyone else's problem. And it's like, yes, what do you think is the natural end result of breaking people's automated cognitive scripts? You're not being abused, you're breaking the mold and then complaining that you no longer have a mold that contains you. Shut up and do your fucking dishes. Here's my final take on it. Men and women, fine. Trans men, trans women, also okay. I can completely understand adhering to regular gender norms and just wanting the other one. Feeling both masculine and feminine at the same time? I can see that, sure. Feeling agender, like you don't align with either man or woman. Fine, okay. Man, woman, both, neither. I can conceive of these options existing, even if the options for biological sex are literally only male, female, and various deformities. But all this other nonsense is just meaningless garbage. The legitimate options already map on perfectly to he, she, and they as is. Deer gender, cat gender, whatever, none of that shit is fucking real. These people have debilitating, crippling mental illnesses that are preventing them from being happy and joining normal society.